I'm going to start the ball rolling and just ask you a question about how you guys met Arielle Holmes. And
I happened upon her. We were doing really extensive research in the Diamond District, doing another film.
For another project that hasn't been made
called
yet.
Uncut Gems that we have yet to realize. And I was deeply in character doing research, selling jewelry, selling fake Rolexes, and very interested in the street scene there on 47th Street. And we would arrive with the morning crowd and leave with the evening crowd. And on my way into the subway one day, I saw Arielle. She was dressed very nicely. And I turned to one of the producers, Sebastian Bear McLard, and I said to him, wow, that girl's unbelievably beautiful. And he said, all right, go talk to her. Let's get her in the movie. Because we were looking for one of these kind of assistants who works in the showroom. And a lot of people who work in the Diamond District are either like Russian, like almost like mail order Russian types, or family members, or even some strange girlfriends of the owner. So I went up to her and I started talking to her after much persuasion from Sebastian. And I said, hey, we're doing a movie in the Diamond. I was very nervous because it's a very romantic gesture to ask someone to be in the movie, and in a movie. And I said, hey, love to find a role for you in this movie that we're doing in the Diamond District. And she said, oh, I've always kind of thought about acting. I was expecting Russian, and she had this Jersey accent. And she said, okay. We exchanged numbers. And I said, all right, I'll meet you, and we'll talk more about it. We'll find a role. I met up with her a week later, and I turned the corner in my car. At first I said, let's meet in Chinatown. Where do you live? She goes, oh, Chinatown. I said, oh, I used to live in Chinatown. Where? And she said, oh, Essex Street. I said, oh, which street? What's your address? She goes, she's like, guessed a number. And I was like, oh, okay, strange. Pull up. She's dressed completely differently, much more like a street kid, which was a surprise to me. I wasn't expecting it. I was dressed very nicely, dressed to impress, had a lot of jewelry on. I thought she was a Diamond District girl. And she was nodding out a little bit, so I was like, all right, this is strange. She's a junkie, maybe. I'm not sure. And sat down. We had dinner. And halfway, she kept talking to me about Ilya this, Ilya that, as if I knew him. Very cult-like relationship. And halfway through the dinner, she said, hey, Josh, I should admit something to you. I'm homeless. I was like, all right. You're homeless as in you have no home, nowhere to go? She goes, yeah, I got nothing, no family. I live in the street. I wash my hair in the public bathroom and then go up to the Diamond District where I apprentice. I said, all right. Let's keep talking. I don't know really what role you have yet. And I was working with her to try to find her jobs because it wasn't paying the Diamond District job. I got her a job with Richard Kern, the photographer who's doing a music video. He loved her. And he said, she's a star. And I said, yeah, I know, you're telling me. And I got her a job. This was about a month and a half, 2 months after I met her, meeting with her and talking with her about her life. And high-paying job, music video. And she didn't show up. Her phone got disconnected. Richard called me. He said, what's up? I said, I don't know. And didn't hear from her for weeks. I thought the worst. And then I got a phone call from a random number. And it was like, hey, Josh, it's Ari. I said, Ari, what the fuck happened, man? I got you this job. I thought you were responsible. You told me you were responsible. I thought you were ambitious, And she said, I know. I'll tell you all about it. Can we meet up? I just got out of the hospital. I said, all right. Met up with her. She had a bandage on her left arm. She said, I tried to kill myself. Ilya made me do it. And I said, well, I hope Ilya's not in the picture anymore. She says, yeah, screw him. He ripped up all my drawings. And then I remember going to LA the next week and trying to do this last push for money for this really tough project that was over budgeted and, Hollywood actors and stuff like that. And a radical thinking friend in LA said to me, I showed him the picture, he said, what are you doing, man? You gotta make that movie. And I said, you're right. Went back, and then I started to commission Ari to write about her life. And these pages were coming in fast. She could write faster than I could read. Doesn't say much, I'm a slow reader, but she blew me away with these writings. They were so immediate and so cinematic, and it amounted to over 160 pages. And then, I would convince Benny and Ronnie, who co-edited and co-wrote
Ronnie
the film.
Bronstein,
Ronald Bronstein,
our beloved projectionist,
yes,
as well as a great filmmaker in his own right,
yeah,
and your editor and co-writer. Yep.
Of Frownland, directed the great film Frownland.
Yep.
And good friend of ours, and
star of one of your previous films.
Starred in Daddy Longlegs.
Yep.
Father.
father, all around good guy. Yeah.
He would always say, like, whenever we would see anybody on the street who's talking to themselves or whatever, he just remembered that they had a mother once. And I was like, that's not always true. But so these writings kind of immediately grabbed us, and we started mining them, looking for an access point and when we would start, when we would end. And yeah, we started to adapt the pages, and with the intention of always casting Arielle as Harley.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.